It's not a lot.
I actually saw Ian's debut for West Ham at Derby.
Did you? Nice. Okay, that was a special day.
It was, because it was my birthday that day, and I took my heavily pregnant wife to the game, being the romantic I am.
Wow, what a memory! What a memory! That was a special day in my life.
You had a good game, if I remember rightly.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it was interesting because I played cup games and different games, but it just had that tag of Premier League debut, and I just remember that feeling at the end of the game when we won 2-1, and I had a few saves to help the boys, secure the win, and the boys played well. They had my back, and just that feeling. Again, that's so when I see the players, kind of show that same emotion, I can relate to it, and it's just such an honor to wear that shirt that there's no description, there's no words you could put that, when you put that shirt on and, you realize what those fans have done. Like you just said, you brought your pregnant wife to a game. It's pouring rain. I remember the game. It was pouring rain. You're probably not covered because, the roof didn't cover the whole stand. So, you know, that's what the players need to understand. And that's what's so important these days,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just ask you.
And I mean,
I just ask you one question, please,
Sure.
Jake.
Yeah. Go.
How mad was John Monker? Was he as crazy as people say he was?
Times it by 100. That guy was one of the funniest, just great guy. First off, just genuine great guy. But he could have been the funniest person I've ever met, besides Rodney from Only Fools and Horses. But other than that, he was just. I mean, the stuff he did, you can't even. I could write a book, but I won't because it just, it would be too explicit. But yeah, it's just great guy, funny, mad, stories unlimited. We had a locker room with characters. The Ian Bishops, John Moncur, great, just amazing guys. It was such an honor to be part of that.
Yeah, and you mentioned you won on your Premier League debut, and just that, what was that winning feeling like? Because you won on your debut. The dressing room after the game must have been obviously, as you said, something that you'll never forget.
Well, like I said, what was interesting is I was a very confident. I am was. I don't play anymore, so I can't say am. But because of the tag of debut for the Premier League, it just I remember changing in the dressing room, it got to me a little bit. I remember like I was trying to tie my shoes, and my hands were shaking so bad, and no, it's not something I really have ever even told many people, but so you got the exclusive here on West Ham Unofficial. But I remember looking down and my hands were shaking so bad because I just knew the importance of it. Do you know what I mean? Like it was a Saturday kickoff. It wasn't a cup final. It wasn't but I just knew the importance of the game. And it was my debut, and I looked down. And I finally just took a deep breath, and I just said, "I got this." I've been training with these boys for years now. I've been doing amazing in training. I just had amazing keepers in front of me. I had Lula McClark, Shaka Hislop, Craig Forrest, all these guys in front of me that were amazing keepers. It wasn't that I wasn't capable. It's just they were just amazing, and they were playing well. So I couldn't knock on the gaffer's door and just say, "Hey, you got to play me," because no, I couldn't do that because they were playing so well. So, anyways, I get and so I get into the game and get a couple saves. I start feeling it, and I remember there was a free kick towards the end of the game, and Rio was starting to, because we were winning 2-1 with 10 minutes to go. Rio starts dropping too deep, and I told Rio, hold top of the D, top of the arc on the 18-yard box, and they just dropped really deep. So they flew across in. I jumped over a couple people and kind of caught it, and I'm like, with a few explicit words, I was like, Rio, you got to keep holding your line so I can come for every cross. I want to be able to come for this cross, take the pressure off. So then 2 minutes later, long story short, there's another free kick, same spot, about halfway line, and all they're going to do is float it in the box and try to create craziness. And Rio starts dropping it again, and at this time there was a player injured, so I had a little bit of time. This is my debut, I grabbed Rio Ferdinand by his shirt, and he was about the penalty spot. I grabbed his shirt, and I stepped in literally to the top of the D, and I go, if you freaking move from here before the kick, I'm going to put my knee in the back of your head. And he's, oh, okay. And they held the line. The guy floats the ball in, easy catch. I take some time. I fall to the ground a little bit. I kick the ball up and, took the pressure off. And right when I did that, I was like, wow, I just did that. It's Rio. He's already playing for England. He's doing the whole thing. And I remember after the game, right away, he comes straight to celebrate with me. He goes, big man. He goes, that was brilliant. He goes, that was brilliant. He goes, I just wouldn't even think, I was just getting caught up in the moment. And he goes, so he was appreciative of, even on my debut, I had the nerve to do that, and it gave me a lot of confidence. So, again, it was just such an honor to play with that team. The Canio and Ferg. I mean, you can name the whole team. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
One of the best teams.
Yeah. A couple of questions just came in, so I'm going to put them to you. Did you have, firstly, a pre-match routine?
Yeah. I would do, it depends how far back you go. The night before, it's where mine started. Like we'd be in a hotel. I'd wash my boots after training, wash my gloves. I'd put them on a towel next to the bed in the hotel. I would drink at least 3 liters of water that night. So water, just whether it was actuality or it was a placebo, but it made me think clear. So I would do that. My warm-up would always be on the side of the goal. I didn't want anything to break the seal of the goal before the game. I might do a cross or two, but in terms of shot stopping, I'd go off to the side. And just in my mind, I didn't want anything to go into the net that day. That was about it. Yeah, that was about it. Left glove first, all that. I don't believe in superstitions because I think they bring bad luck. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah. Scott also asked, what was Paolo Di Canio like around the training ground?
Paolo was just someone that I completely idoled from day one. The second I saw his work ethic in training, his mentality towards perfection, I took to it. And every chance I had to talk to him and listen to him, I took. Like sometimes, the night before a game, I remember we went up to Man U, and I wasn't playing, I was on the bench, but we went up to Man U, and all the players would eat and just immediately go off back to their room. And he was just sitting there eating his pasta with olive oil and, being all professional, and I had his cappuccino and his whatever. And I would always just wait. And he would take a long time, because Italians, dinner's like an event, it's like a 3-hour event. So I would just sit there and just ask him questions of what it was like being on the terraces at Lazio as a fan, and, how it became, such a player and all that. So I would just listen to him with just ears just like this, you know what I mean? So he's someone that today is probably the best player I've ever been.
Great player, great.
Yeah. And that goal against Wimbledon, I think I told you the story on the last one, how he would ask me to get in goal, and he would practice his little, bicycle kick forward, whatever you want to call it. And it was good to be part of that as well.
Yeah. Question coming for you, Gary. The same one that went to Ian. What was your before COVID? What was your pre-match routine?
For home games, it depends really. At Upton Park or the London Stadium. London Stadium, I tend to get there quite early, go around the club shop, and then have a couple of beers for the game. I got a season ticket in the Billy Bond stands.